Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence, and surprisingly, we're going to be intertwining emotional intelligence with plastic surgery. I believe one of the families that have done the most harm to society, potentially in human history. I mean, there's been different families that have harmed society in different ways. A lot of it in physical ways, where this family was responsible for genocide and getting people and removing them from their homes. A lot of the crimes were done in a physical way. But I believe this particular family has demolished a lot of people's psyche, the mental issue, and this family, they're known as the Kardashians. Every now and then, someone will post a picture of a Kardashian in front of me and be like, yo, what do you think about her? And I'll look at her, Kim Kardashian. In 2010, I would say she was very attractive before all the plastic surgery. But nowadays, when I look at her, I see a monster. And the thing is, since she's always in people's awareness, what it does is it sparks a movement. Many impressionable folks are like, you know what? Let me also get a surgery like her, because that's how we can look young. I think it started off as a problem that a lot of girls were facing. But nowadays, I know a lot of guys that are getting plastic surgery. They get these ab implants, they get veneers, they get hair transplants, all of that stuff. And my question is, why? I was having this argument with one of my buddies, and he gave a very compelling case as to why. He said that if you are someone that has self-esteem issues, and let's say you have this big mole in your nose, and you understand that plastic surgery can remove that mole, wouldn't you do it? Especially if it's affecting you? And when he asked a question like that, I realized that I was in a privileged position because I never had a certain moment with my looks where I thought, even for a second, that I needed to get plastic surgery. So suddenly, I pictured myself with a big mole on my nose, and a plastic surgeon said, look, for $4,000, this can be gone forever. What would you do? That's when I thought, you know, I may do it. I would get plastic surgery in that situation. So I'm not someone that is completely against plastic surgery. However, I would like to caution something. A while back, I made a video called What is a Rat Race? And if you're watching from your phone or your laptop, I'll link it right on here. And if you're watching from TV, just type in What is a Rat Race? ArmaniTalks. And I said that a rat race is when we begin a cycle that we cannot stop. The common misconception is that the only people who go through a rat race are those folks with a 9-to-5 job. But that's not the case. Any human being out there has to go through some sort of rat race. That is what we call life. Even if you're a businessman never says, I am complete. Instead, there is always a new problem. So when this businessman starts a business, he understands he's trading in one rat race for another. We all have to engage in some sort of rat race. And hopefully, this rat race is capable of building our character rather than something that just brings more problems than solutions. And I believe plastic surgery is a lot like that. It's a rat race because when I know, hey, I could just remove this mole, a part of me thinks, what else can I remove? You see? Or what else can I alter? Now, if this is a person who has great judgment and is like, nah, other than that, I'm good, then this person can completely ignore this video. However, a lot of people are not like that. A lot of people, when they see, whoa, I can alter the way that I look. What else can I alter? And suddenly, they began this new rat race where they keep altering how they look. And that is exactly what the Kardashians have made mainstream. It's always been a thing, this whole plastic surgery stuff, but the Kardashians have made it huge. Nowadays, whenever go through my feed, I see so many folks that I could tell that they got work done. And nowadays, they're in the new rat race where they always have to get work done. The question is, why do they have to keep getting work done? It's because they suffer from confidence. And the thing is, when you alter the way that you look, the individual may not match with the whole. When I was a kid, there was this one moment when I was in art class, and there was a week that I missed art class. So by the time I came back, we were learning how to draw portraits. I didn't understand the framework of how to draw portraits. So you know what I did? I got my picture and I started to individually draw the components. I drew a beautiful eye. Then I drew another beautiful eye. Then I drew an amazing nose, the amazing lips. I'm focusing on the individual components. Once I'm done with the individual components, I'm thinking, this is going to look amazing. Instead, it looked awful. When I looked at it, it looked like such a bad portrait. And that's when my teacher came. And my teacher was like, Armani, that's not how you draw it. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to create an upside down egg. You're supposed to make a line right down the middle right here, a middle right here, and then you do plug and play. You just go ahead and put the eyes, put the nose, put the lips. You have the right proportions at this point. And from there, you could add more depth to your drawing. And that's when I saw, oh, I got to focus on the whole first and then the individual components, where my suboptimal strategy was to focus on the individual components, praying that the whole looks good. What happens with plastic surgery often is that these folks, they're like, let me just alter my nose. They alter their nose. They get the beautiful nose. They look in the mirror. They're like, something seems like it's missing. My chin. Yeah, my chin. So now they're over here warping their chin. They're focusing on another individual component. And then they're looking at the mirror. They're like, wait a minute, something still feels off. My cheekbones. That's it. Once I fix my cheekbones, everything else will be taken care of. They fix their cheekbones, and now they still look twisted. They just keep altering their entire face, and soon they are unrecognizable. They traded in one rat race for another. My word of caution with plastic surgery is just because the Kardashians are doing it, and just because they're paying for a lot of advertisements to get their face shown in the mainstream, does not mean that you should do it too. If it's one of those one-off things like removing a mole from your nose, I get that. But if it's going from the practical territory to you just hoping that you get the perfect look, I want you to know that you will never get that perfect look, because the more that you keep altering the individual components, the more that you are screwing up the whole. It's one desire after another. And soon you become unrecognizable. And these are one of those situations that there is no redo button. You cannot get your old face back. So before you're about to pull that trigger, exercise some caution. If you like topics like this that stray off into emotional intelligence, social skills, and much more, you definitely want to check out the ArmaniTalks free daily newsletter. Within this newsletter, I'm dropping daily content on public speaking, social skills, emotional resilience, and much more. Join the tribe by checking out the link in the description box, the pinned comment, or go on ArmaniTalks.com/newsletter. Sign up today. Thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I will catch you next time.